Awesome. All right, well, welcome everyone. So glad that you guys are here tonight, and welcome online. Hello. My name is Amy Glenn, for those of you that know me, and this is my house and my computer. And tonight's class is going to be a good one. I'm really excited about this one. This is energy healing and essential oils. And we have Jennifer Reeves, Jen, who's going to teach our class tonight. Yeah, and so she's a Reiki master, and she has a lot of experience in working with essential oils and in the energetic sense, a lot to share. And I'm really excited about that. She uses a lot of gemstones and chakra balancing, and she'll tell you a lot more as we go. We have some handouts here that that people in person have, but for those of you online, we'll make sure that we post those so that you have those available. All right? So go ahead and take it away, Jen. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so hi, my name's Jen. So I'm just going to introduce myself and then we'll go through things. If you have a pen, you might want to take notes. Much like last month when there was a whole lot of information coming at you really fast, that's going to happen again. Okay, so I got introduced to energy healing a little over 14 years ago. I had had 10 pregnancies in 7.5 years, 6 of which ended in miscarriage. At the time, the youngest of my 4 children was 2. I'd been suicidal throughout his pregnancy due to the hormone disruptions that happen in pregnancy and breastfeeding. In short, I was a real mess. I believed in naturopathic healing and was using herbs and supplements to augment the antidepressants I was on. I went to visit my parents who lived in this small, weird town in southern Arizona. And this town is, no joke, a hotbed of natural solutions. People congregate there and move there that are into natural healing. It's the craziest thing. While I was there, my mom took me to see a lady for some energy healing. She did something called repatterning. It was incredible how much it helped me. It was like an 1.5 hour, 2 hour long session, and it made a huge difference. We did a few over the phone a couple other times. A few years later, my mom mentioned that she'd heard from a friend about a new energy healing modality called EFT, or emotion freedom technique, also commonly called tapping. I looked it up and I knew I needed to learn it. So I Googled EFT training Calgary and stuff came up. So in 2008, I took EFT training levels 1, 2, and 3 from Janine Crombie in Olds, who was taught by Gary Craig, who is the founder of EFT. So I used EFT to help myself and my family for many years. About 2 years ago, I started feeling very drawn to learn Reiki, and so I did. I now have my level 1 and 2 in Reiki, and I'm working on my level 3. I also learned about the emotion code during that time by Dr. Brad Nelson, and I learned how to do that. So in my practice, I currently employ parts of EFT, emotion code, and Reiki all together, as well as using crystals and essential oils. I've always been a really highly intuitive person, and I'm very, very sensitive to energy. So learning energy healing for me was really easy and came really naturally. I can easily see how to make it work the best with the natural gifts I have. Oddly enough, given all of this, and Erica can testify to this, I was very resistant to essential oils. I don't like smelly things. I'm very particular about smells.
Hey, Jen, so sorry to interrupt, but can we move your car?
Oh, is my car in the way?
No,
Yep.
I think it's mine.
Oh, is it? Is yours a navy Dodge?
Are you?
No.
Mine's
on your driveway, though.
gray one. I'm beside the.
There's one that's right behind the 4Runner.
Oh,
that
no,
would be
I got
the
it.
red.
Okay, never mind. Okay, sorry. False alarm. Okay, not me. I'm in front of the house. Okay. Okay. So I was really super resistant to essential oils, and a good friend of mine, who's Erica's sister-in-law, had a class and invited me to it, and I agreed to go immediately, even though I didn't know what it was. And then I found out it was oils, and I tried so hard to get out of going. I was coming up with, I'm like, no, they're stinky and gross and voodoo and snake oil, and only stupid people believe that they work, because they don't. You all are dumb. Like, no. Anyway, I went, and I was so happy to be there. I was not. It was so bad. I sat there with my arms crossed like this, glaring, and then as they passed the oils around and make you smell them, I would go, oh, why would you make me smell that? Oh, that's disgusting, and pass it on. True story. I was so pleasant to have there. It was great. About 3/4 of the way through the class, I started feeling really strong that I needed to get the oils. And so I did the mature thing and fought with myself for half an hour. I'm like, no, I'm not getting them. You need them. I'm not doing it. They're gross. Anyway, I bought the smallest kit you could because they weren't going to work because it was stupid. And then a few days later, the oils came and I put one on, and within 30 seconds, I was loopy as bats. My body craved these oils insanely. Within 3 days, exhaustion, mental fog, and fatigue that I'd been battling for 10 years started to clear up. And I was like, dang it, these smelly, disgusting things work. And so I jumped into building a business and have been working with Amy and Kelly and Julie and Mel ever since. Okay, so now let's talk about energy. I think the computer's fine. Are you guys still working? It says recording. We'll go with it's fine. Battery power. I think it's good.
not plugged in. It's
Okay.
not plugged in. Sorry.
All right. Says it's good. Okay. So energy, also known as chi, as ki, as prana, whatever you want to call it, is all around us. All living entities, birds, flowers, trees, and even people are manifestations of this energy. In the field of science, it has been proven that all materials in the physical world are, at the most fundamental cellular level, manifestations of energy. We vibrate or energy. That's everything is energy. Everything in the universe is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies. Solid objects are made up of vibrational energy fields at the quantum level. We are all energy, and everything is in nature is energy at the cellular level. So there's so many kinds of energy healing. I can't list them all, but a few are repatterning, EFT, Reiki, emotion code, EMDR, Tai Chi, shamanic healing, yoga, acupuncture, chiropractor. These are all energy healing modalities. Okay, each one is called a modality. It's a fancy word for saying method of energy healing. It's what they're called. Okay, so in a nutshell, they work by releasing blocked energy that's in your body so that your energy can flow properly. When your body's energy is flowing properly, your body can function properly and it will heal itself, okay? The energy in your body flows in meridians. So they're like large streams of energy. So the meridians in your body go up and down your spine from the top of your head to the base of your tailbone. They go up and down your arms and connect into your spine. They go up and down your legs and connect into your spine, okay? Those are the meridians, the big fat ones, okay? There's also smaller streams of energy that go throughout your body, like capillaries in your blood system, or think of little feeder streams going into a big river. Where am I? So like a feeder stream, when there's a blockage in a stream, what happens? It floods, right? Like it has to move, the energy has to move somewhere, the water has to move, so it floods the area, right? So in your body, when there's a blockage in the energy, it creates a flood. So the flood can manifest as yelling, anger, ugly crying. Anyone do any of those? Emotional eating, drinking, other behaviors that you wish you didn't have, that's energy blockages, okay? So you get these blockages in your energy when you have feelings that you don't acknowledge or that you label as bad or wrong and push down because you're not supposed to have those. Who here thinks being angry is bad and wrong? Right? So we're taught that, right? You shouldn't be angry. Being angry is bad. You shouldn't feel shame. You shouldn't feel these things. So first thing you need to work on is understanding no feeling that you have is bad or wrong. You have it for a reason. It might be a really, really crazy reason, but it makes sense to you in your head with the life experiences you have had. It makes sense to you. So no feeling that you have is bad or wrong. You have it for a reason, okay? So that's one way to block energy. Sometimes, especially with like little kids, they have big things happen to them, like you move or you change their school, and they don't know how to process that because they're just little, right? And so that creates energy blockages in them, okay? Or if they're watching mom and dad fight or whatever, it creates these blockages of energy because they're too little to know what to do with their feelings, okay? And sometimes as grown-ups, we have that too. We have something happen that's so catastrophic and debilitating that we just don't know how to manage it. And so we push it down and we repress it because you still have to function, you still have to mom, you still have to go to work, you still have to do all these things. And so because it's so big and you can't deal with it, you push it down, and that creates energy blockages, okay? Sometimes we do it deliberately, sometimes we do it subconsciously, but all of that creates these energy blockages. Okay, so the energy blockages, they actually cause physical problems in your body. They can manifest as autoimmune diseases, as other illnesses, as the thing that starts with the letter C, weight gain, inability to lose weight, sudden weight loss, constant tension, exhaustion, poor libido. All of this is due to energy blockages usually, okay? They also cause a host of mental and emotional issues. So it's really important to work on dealing with and fixing your energy blockages. So when you fix these energy blocks, you also fix things in your body mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I've seen this over and over in myself and in the people that I do energy healing on. Energy healing has physical properties, whether somebody touches you or not. So when you go to the chiropractor, they're going to touch you because that's how they accomplish the manipulation of the bones. They do actually physically have to touch you. But in some healing modalities, you don't actually touch the person physically. But there's always a physical component. After an energy healing in any modality, you should walk out of it feeling energetically lighter as well as physically lighter. You should feel like a weight has literally physically been taken off of your shoulders, that you can stand up straighter, that you're breathing better. Like you should have these kind of physical manifestations when you've had energy healing done. Okay. During your energy healing session, it's really normal if you yawn a whole lot. That's normal. Or if you start crying, normal. Or if all of a sudden you have to pee like you've never had to pee in your life, normal. Okay. These are all ways that your body releases old stagnant energy. Okay. Coughing, laughing hysterically. It's all ways that your body releases this old energy. Okay. Some people, I can feel the energy moving. I can feel it moving from my head down my core and into my arms and legs. Some people can feel that. You can get a tingling feeling in your fingers and in your feet as the energy comes out. That's a normal thing to feel too. It's also normal not to feel or experience any of this. That's also normal. It depends on how sensitive you are to the energy, right? The more you do energy healing, and the more you use oils and things, the more sensitive you become. So it is something that you can become more sensitive to. But if you don't feel any of this, it doesn't mean that they've done a bad job. It doesn't mean that they've done it wrong. It just means you're not feeling it. Okay? One thing, an important caveat with energy healing is it's really important not to force it. Okay? In every specific energy healing session, certain things will come up. These are the things that you're ready to deal with and let go of at that time, which is great, okay? But if you try and force it and go, well, I did this thing, but then it reminded me of 20 other things over here that aren't related at all, and I'm gonna get rid of those too, it can actually have physical consequences to your body. I had somebody who shall remain nameless do that to me once in an energy healing session. We were doing energy healing and they released this one thing and then they're, well, I have like 100 things over here in different boxes and I'm just gonna dump all of those too. And they got dumped into me. And the person who dumped them felt really, really great. And I literally spent the next 24 hours vomiting and with uncontrollable diarrhea. It was not great for me. It was super not great for me. He felt really good. I did not. And it was Christmas Day. It was great. So don't force it. Don't try and push things out that you're not ready. The things that come up naturally, great, get rid of those. But don't try and force it, okay? Because it's really not fun to do that. Okay, so we're gonna get into talking about specific modalities now that you know a little bit about energy healing. And this is just really basic. And I'm not going to do like an energy healing on anybody because number one, I wouldn't be able to finish it in the allotted time, and to leave somebody half or a quarter done is like not okay. And number two, when you're doing energy healing on people, really, really personal things come up that you probably don't want everybody in the room or watching online to know about. So we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to protect everybody's dignity. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is this book, The Emotion Code. Okay, this is an energy healing modality. It's written by Dr. Bradley Nelson. He is, what is he? A chiropractor and a holistic healer in the US. I think he's based out of Utah-ish, somewhere around there. Okay, so you can get it in a physical book. I got it as an ebook on my Kindle. I don't recommend doing it as an audiobook. You need to be able to look at it. It's important with this one. You can get it on Amazon. Or I think you can probably get it at Chapters. I didn't look, but you can totally get it on Amazon. Okay, so in it, it goes through various things. So it talks about what we just talked about, what energy is, what energy healing is, what blockages are, and it goes through all of that. So all you need to do it is the chart that's in it and some magnets. So this is a blow up of the chart that's in it. We can post this online for everybody. And it's really just a basic chart. And then you need magnets. So I use hematite magnets because I like to combine the healing powers of crystals with my energy healing. But you can use any earth magnet that you want. It just has to be a good, strong magnet, right? Okay, so he goes through, he explains how to do muscle testing, and I'll show you how to do some of that. Muscle testing is integral to what he does in his technique. And then when he's gone through all of that, he gives you this chart and specific questions to go through. And you just sit and muscle test and go, do I have a problem in row 1? No. Do I have a problem in row 2? No. Do I have a problem in row 3? Bingo, I do. Okay. Is it in column A? No. Is it in column B? Yes. Okay, is it? And then you go through each of the things and muscle test, and he gives you specific scripts to help you release things. It works really well. It's really easy. Anybody can do this if you read the book. It's really, really easy. I highly recommend this, okay? Anybody can learn this one. Anybody can do this one. It's super easy. You need the chart. You need magnets and the book, okay? So that's that one. Really recommend that. I'll pass this around too. Why not? There you go. So there's that one. So that's the first one we'll talk about. Okay, the second one we're going to talk about is tapping, or EFT. Okay, this one is also a pretty easy one to learn. You can do this one by yourself as well. You can Google beginners EFT, and a bunch of videos that you can follow will show up on YouTube. That's what it's called. And you can follow along with that, okay? I'm also going to go through the tapping points with you, and I'll give you a simple script that you can do, all right? So the first thing you need to know about tapping is that you do it really, really gently, okay? So you're tapping really softly. So imagine you're tapping on a toddler, right? Like you're just tapping your fingers on a toddler. You do it really lightly because you don't want to hurt the toddler. Sometimes tapping sessions can last a while. They can last half an hour to an hour. And if you're going like this, it's going to really hurt after a while. The strength that you put into the tapping has nothing to do with how well you release the emotions. So just be really gentle, okay? Because you don't need bruises all over your body. That gets really awkward. It's not like we're going to have bathing suit season anytime soon because we live in Calgary. But, you know, maybe you'll go on a trip somewhere and not want to be covered up head to toe. So go really, 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 really softly when you do that, okay? Oh, the other thing with tapping is when you're doing the tapping points, it doesn't have to be exact. Some things in life have to be exact. Tapping close is good enough. Like your body understands the intention, so if you don't have it like exactly where the tapping point is, you're fine. It's all good. Okay, and you can also, if you're in a situation like you're out in public and you don't want to be sitting there tapping all over your body, you can literally imagine yourself doing a tapping flow and imagine tapping on the things, and that works exactly the same as if you're physically doing it. It's crazy, it works. Okay, so tapping points. First one is your karate chop. It's right here on the fleshy part of your palm under your pinky, okay? Both sides, it's karate chop, okay? So I'm right-handed, I use my right hand to tap. If you're left-handed, Use your left hand and tap on your right hand. It doesn't matter. It works the same either side. Okay, so karate chop is your first point. All right, we always start here. Then you go top of the eyebrows. You go side of the eyebrows on your temples. This is in your handout. Looks like, I think it's in your handout somewhere. Yeah, there we go. This one, acupressure points. Yep, I didn't print mine in color. Okay, so side of the eyebrow. Next point is under the eyes. It's kind of like on the bone, but if you're like down on your cheeks, whatever, it's all good. Okay, under your nose, between your nose and your lip. Then middle of your chin. Then under your collarbones. So there's like a dent, or there should be a dent under your collarbones, right around here. That's where you're going to tap. So you can do both hands. You can do one hand. It's all good. It doesn't matter really. Okay. Next point is under your arms. This is the look at me, I'm a monkey. Children like this one. They're like, do the monkey one, do the monkey one. Okay, so right there. And you don't ever cross when you're doing energy healing, because that actually creates binds in your energy fields. So even though you look stupid, you have to do it this way. And then beneath your nipples, so it's kind of like the bottom of your ribs, or where your nipples used to be before you breastfed. Well, y'all know it's true. Okay, so there, and then the last one is in a circle clockwise on the top of your head. Also a monkey looking one. Okay, so those are the tapping points. All right.
Does the order matter?
Yes, it has to be in that order. Oh my gosh, my page won't turn. Okay, so there's a couple other tapping points, and they're on your thing, but they're not as commonly used, and they don't matter as much, but you can use them. So there's the side of the thumb, and again, it's both fingers. So the side of the thumb, side of the index finger, side of the middle finger. Ring finger does not count at all. And then pinky finger, side of the pinky finger, and then your trauma point. So we'll get into what this does a little later. So trauma point is straight line down from your pinky on your wrist, like where you would take your pulse. Okay, that's the trauma point right there. And same on both hands. It doesn't matter which side. Okay. Okay, so tapping or EFT is based off of traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM. And TCM believes certain spots on the body correlate to certain organs within the body. Okay, so if you've ever had acupuncture or acupressure, you'll know that they put the needles or put the pressure on specific points to correlate with specific things inside your body. Also similar to reflexology, right? Okay, so in tapping and traditional Chinese medicine, the collarbone right here, this spot, is where your spirit connects to your body. Okay, so this is an important spot in tapping right here. Okay, and then the other spot that we're going to talk about is this one on the top of your head when you do this. This is actually a master point when you do this for every tapping point in your body. So if you want to just do this when you're tapping, you can do that. It'll work. Okay? So you can literally just tap in a circle around your head until you get really, really tired of it. That works too. Okay? So when you have pain, illness, or discomfort in a specific area of your body, you can look it up on the chart and see what that relates to. Okay, so for instance, your gallbladder is where you store unresolved rage. Who do you know that's had their gallbladder out? Think about that for a second. Your heart is where you store unresolved anger. Who do you know that's had heart attacks? Think about that for a second. Your bladder is where you store unresolved trauma. The number one thing that points to a child being sexually abused is that they wet themselves. Think about that for a second. Okay? So you can look in these things, look at the chart and go, oh. So governing vessel and central vessel is spirit. I tend to just stick it with this one, but you can also, oh, that's wrong. It's collarbone. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, so you can look at these and go, oh, interesting. If you always have digestive issues, well, large intestines store guilt. So, just saying. Okay, some interesting things in there. All right. So, let her hold strong. Right. So when you tap your collarbone and the top of your head, I can't do it that way. Wait, no, I do it this way. Okay. When you tap these at the same time, so the top of your head just in one spot and your collarbone together 14 times in a row. I'm going to have you all do this. Ready? Okay. What that does is it clears the energy in your body and it puts you back in you and it kind of clears out whatever's happening and centers you into what your energy is.
Okay. Oh, why 14 times?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's just 14 times.
Do you so both sides? Or?
No, just the one, and whichever side is comfortable for you to do. Like, this is weird for me. I can't do that because it's wrong. But for you, it might feel good. Then do it that way, right? Okay. So when you do that, it prepares you to muscle test and to do energy healing. So it's a really good thing to do. There's other things you can do to clear and ground your energy. If you know another way of doing it and you're comfortable with that, great, do that. That's okay. It's all good. This is one that I find really easy to do. Anybody can do it. It's not hard. So this is what we do. So you go. And then this is the part that's going to be muscle testing. So then I take my hands together in front of my chest and I try to pull them apart while keeping them together. Does that make sense? Like, I'm trying to pull them apart. And I say, my mind is balanced, my body is balanced, my spirit is balanced, my chakras are balanced and aligned. If your hands stay together, that's a true statement. If they fling apart and you can't keep them together for love nor money, it's not a true statement. So if I stand here and say, I'm an elephant, no. I'm a man, no. I'm a woman. It holds together. It looks really fake. It looks like I'm faking this. I swear I'm not. Try it at home on yourself. Just stand and say different things that are true and that are lies. And when you say something that's a lie, it will not stay together no matter what you do.
So yeah, if you say the lie, do you have to do the 14 again?
If you go through and you do the 14 times and you tap and they're not staying together, then I would tap again and do it because you still need to clear some stuff out. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. There you go. Okay, so muscle testing is basically, do I believe this? Is this true to me on a cellular level? If it is, it will stay up, okay? So I'll do that. I muscle test a lot on myself throughout my day, you'd be surprised. But I always do that before I'm doing an energy healing session with somebody. I always clear out the energy. They always clear out the energy. And then we muscle test to make sure it's done. So that's an easy way. But sometimes you're trying to figure out if a specific thing, like a specific oil, is good for you. It's hard to do that if your hands are full of your hands and you need to hold something to test it, right? So I'm going to show you another way to muscle test. This one is also pretty easy. So same thing, you would balance yourself out 14 times. And then you put your dominant arm up and you're going to try and push it down with your weaker arm while holding your dominant arm up. Okay, so just do that. And like you can see that it's strong and you're holding it up. Okay, so if you want to do it with like an oil to say, do I need to use this oil? Okay, so hold the oil in your hand, make sure the lid is on because you don't want to spill it. And hold it tight because I have had oils fling out of my hand and onto my tile floor. And then you're like, oh my gosh, and it didn't break. And I was like, thank you. Okay, so you hold it. So this one is Purify. This is one that I use every day. And this is one my body needs, okay? This one is Clary Sage. My body hates this one. I can't use it. I can't use it. So that's one that I will only diffuse. I cannot use it. I also can't use Clary Calm. My body it does not want it. It will not use it. My girls love Clary Calm, use it daily. Okay, so that's something you can do. That works with oils. It works with vitamins and supplements. I mean, you could do it with chocolate, but you might be sad, so don't. Your body needs the chocolate. It's okay. All right, so those are just a couple just really easy and quick ways to muscle test, all right? Where am I at? Okay, so for tapping, after you've cleared your energy the 14 times and you've done the muscle testing to make sure that you're basically balanced, there's a script on here, okay? So you're gonna say this while you're tapping your karate point. So the reason that you do your karate point, if you look on your chart, is that it does reversals. So that means when you have things completely backwards in your body that shouldn't be backwards. So like, you know, when you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, I'm so fat. And everybody else is like, shut up, you look fantastic, and you're skinny, and just don't even talk to me, right? That's a reversal. You're seeing something that isn't true, okay? So the reason we start with the karate chop is it fixes reversals, okay? So you start on the karate chop, and gently, as we tap, we say, even though I have, and then you say the bad things. So, or I am, or I do. So even though I yell at my kids, for example, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, and I forgive myself for any part I have played in yelling at my kids, and I forgive anyone else for any part they have played in me yelling at my kids, okay? So with tapping, it's really, really important that you only ever say things that are true. So if you cannot say that statement and have it be true, you change it. So if you cannot say, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, if that doesn't ring true for you, you don't say that part. What you say is, I am trying to deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I am trying to forgive myself, okay? If that doesn't ring true, if you're not actually trying, then don't say that. What you say is, I want to deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I want to forgive myself. Does that make sense? So it's on there, it's on your thing, the little script. So you change it so that it's true for you. And over time, the original statement you will be able to say with truth and honesty, okay? Okay, so after you've done your thing, oh, and if when you're saying, and I forgive myself and anyone else, if a name pops into your head, say the name. So I forgive myself and Santa Claus for any contribution he has made. Okay, so if the name pops into your head, if multiple names pop into your head, say them all. Doesn't matter, just say it. Okay, so after you're finished with the karate chop, you're going to do a cycle of the tapping. So you're going to start at your eyebrows, and then go to the sides of your eyes, under your nose, chin, collarbone, monkey arms, on the ribs, and a circle on the top of the head. That's a cycle of tapping. And while you're doing that, you're going to say all the negative things you're feeling, okay? I yell at my kids all the time. I can't believe I did it again. I get so frustrated and so mad. And you're gonna say all of it, just whatever comes, and get out all the negative as you're tapping through. And you're probably gonna have to do several cycles of tapping before you have all the negative out. So once the negative is out, you have to,
How do they know the negative is out?
you stop thinking of bad things.
Okay.
Basically,
Right.
you stop thinking of I hate myself stuff.
Okay.
So, so once that's coming out, you're going to find that you're naturally going to start softening and bringing in good things. And it's really important when you're doing energy healing and you're removing a big negative thing that you put in a big positive thing in its place. Otherwise, you have a great big hole in you energetically. And things are going to fill it as fast as they can. And high vibe things don't fill it as fast as low vibe things. So all the stuff you just worked really hard to get out will come flying back in if you don't replace it with positive. Does that make sense? So when you're finishing, you have to end it, like, keep going until you're like, I'm really trying, I didn't yell at my kids as much as I did yesterday. I'm really proud of myself that I'm getting better, stuff like that, until you're cleared through. Does that make sense? Always end on positive, okay? So, okay. The last thing I'm going to show you with tapping points is for anybody that has anxiety, for anybody that has panic attacks, for anybody that gets triggered by anything, okay? So this is called your trauma. So what you do is when you're in a state where you're overwhelmed, where you're whatever, okay? You tap here on your trauma point really gently. And you do not think about whatever has triggered you. You don't. Or whatever you're panicking about. You don't think about it. You think about something else, something that makes you happy. Aquaman, like it means God, whatever, don't care. Okay, something that makes you happy. I love you. So you go from there to your collarbone and back and forth, and you just focus on breathing deeply, just back and forth. You'll see some autistic kids doing this on their own. It's a natural, you'll sometimes just see them sitting and tapping here. It's a calming mechanism. Okay, so just back and forth really gently from your trauma point to your collarbone. It doesn't matter which side of the arm you do it on, okay? You can't really do it at the same time, but back and forth until you can breathe and until you're calm, all right? All right, so the last one we're gonna talk about is Reiki, okay? So you can take that script and like watch a couple videos on YouTube and you can totally do VFT on yourself. It's really not hard, I swear. You can get, like, I know a lot more advanced techniques, but this is literally all you need to know in order to be able to help yourself. Okay, so Reiki is the last one I'm going to talk about. Ooh, I need a drink. That's a good idea. Okay, Reiki is a little more complicated. It's probably better if you get somebody to do this to you. You can totally learn it. It's totally learnable. It helps if you're at least a little bit sensitive to energy, like feeling energy, but even if you're not, you can still learn it. But it's a lot harder to just Google it on YouTube and go, oh, now I'm proficient in Reiki. It really doesn't work that way. So this one is one that I do suggest that you get help with, okay? So the main thing about Reiki is its focus on chakras. So it's like tapping. It's based on traditional Chinese medicine and traditional, there you go, medicine with the energy lines and the meridians and all of that. But it's also involves the chakras, okay? So chakras are focal points for your energy, and they are on your spine, and there's 7 main ones. There's a bunch of smaller tributary ones, but most people just focus on the 7 main ones. They're about the size of a tennis ball, and they're round, and they should glow, and they should all be in a line on your spine. They're all on your spine, and yeah. Okay, so there's 7 main chakra points are your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. So each chakra has a specific color and is associated with specific things. So the root chakra, I'm going to pass around my chakra oils, and I think I gave you recipes for these. So this is my root chakra ball, roller ball, that I use every day. And I use it on my, okay, so the root chakra is at the base of your tailbone. We don't put oils there, ever. We don't do that because that would be hurt you. Like, don't do that. Seriously, don't do that. So again, like tapping points, close is good enough. So with the root chakra, I actually stick it at the top of my butt cleavage because that's about as close as I'm willing to get to very sensitive areas that you don't necessarily want oil in that can hurt. So, okay. Please, please, please don't actually stick it at the base of your tailbone. Like, don't do that. Don't. Okay, so red, and the root chakra is related to grounding your energy, to your roots. It's found at the base of your spine, at the bottom of your tailbone. Okay, the sacral chakra is orange. And it is located just above your pubis bone, right about there. Okay, sacral chakra. And it's related to your emotions and your sexuality. Okay, the solar plexus chakra is yellow. Oh, this one smells good. I don't smell them, I just use them. And that one is right about here. So the soft spot kind of right under your ribs, that's your, like, when you get sucker punched, that's, yeah, that's your solar plexus, right? Like, it's not a good place to get punched, but that's your solar plexus. So that one goes there. So this one is connected to your self-esteem, okay? The heart chakra is green, although it can be pink as well. Oh, that one smells good too. Seriously, I never smell my things. And that's on the breastbone in between, like at the top of your cleavage, right about there, or, you know, where it used to be. So it's right around there. They're all in your spine, okay? The heart chakra is related to love, all right? The throat chakra is blue. And it's at the base of your throat, right here, the hollow at the bottom of your throat. That's your throat chakra. And it's related to communication. Yeah, okay. The third eye chakra is purple. And it's right here. So if you've ever seen like a woman from India or Pakistan or something with the red dot there, that's the third eye, okay? That's related to your inner wisdom and your intuition, okay? Your crown chakra is either an indigo or white, right? And it's right at the top of the head. So that spot we tapped when we were doing the balancing out, that's actually your crown chakra, right at the top of your head, okay? And that one is related to your connection to the divine, all right? So your chakras are supposed to be in alignment up and down your spine, from the base of your tailbone to the top of your skull. They're all supposed to be the same size. That's really important. When they go out of alignment, so when they shift to somewhere else in your body, when they break, when they shrink, when they get too big or are actually destroyed, it throws off the equilibrium in your body, and it puts your body, spirit, mind, and emotions into chaos. And yes, I've seen all of that happen to people's chakras. You have to work really hard to completely destroy them. Like, kudos if you've managed to do that. That's some hard work. Seriously. Okay, so what Reiki is the practice of realigning your chakras, making sure they're the right size and in the right place. So to do this, the Reiki practitioner helps you to gently release the knots and broken streams of energy in your body, and if needed, moves the chakras back where they're supposed to be and make sure they're all the same size. And if they've been destroyed, you have to grow them a new one. Okay? That's what Reiki is.
How do you do that?
I don't know, I just do. I don't know how to explain it. I can see it, and I just do it. That's why I say for this one, it's better to go to somebody usually than try and do it yourself. Okay? Yep.
I missed on the heart one.
Yeah. What does it do?
Yeah.
Love. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. So how do oils work into all of this? So oils are incredible. So remember we talked at the beginning about how everything has vibrations and everything is energy, right? Oils, every oil has a higher vibration than our body, every one of them. So when we're using oils, aromatically, topically, or internally, we are actually raising the level that our body and our cells are vibrating at, which helps our body to heal and to function properly, okay? If you're going to work on energy healing, look, I have the new one. It's so pretty. I'll pass it around and you can touch it. Okay, if you're going to work on energy healing, you need this book. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to have the book, Emotions and Essential Oils. It is obnoxiously rude and hurtful and so good, and you really need it. Okay, so I've given you a cheat sheet somewhere of what the oils do. Looks like this. It says single oils and oil blends. So basically, every oil that you use because you like the smell of it or because you have a specific physical ailment you're trying to help with the oil, it works on your emotion as well. Every oil has a specific emotion that it works on in your body, every one. And yeah, some of them are really rude. A lot of them are really rude. Especially when you're like, oh, I never do that unless I'm awake. Whatever. Rude. Okay, no, they totally are. So like frankincense is the oil of truth. Okay? Frankincense reveals deceptions and false truth. It invites you to let go of lower vibrations, lies, deceptions, and negativity. It helps create new perspectives based on light and truth. It recalls to memory spiritual understanding, gifts, wisdom, and knowledge that the soul brought into the world. Yeah, anyway, it supports creating a healthy attachment with your father. It assists in spiritual awakening and helps an individual feel the love of divine. When one has felt abandoned or forgotten, frankincense reminds them that they are loved and protected. See, that's where it starts getting rude. Where this oil is incredibly powerful, it's also gentle, like a loving father who nurtures, guides, and protects. And it goes through all of that. So it's for every oil we have and all the blends. And in the new book, it actually says the names of the blends. It's so fancy. I love it. Like, seriously, you don't have to sit and try and figure out which one is which. So I'll pass this around.
And by the way, I'm just going to interject real quick. I have 3 here. These are older editions, but you are welcome. Anybody who wants them to take them. It doesn't have all of the new oils, but it's a really great book to loan out to people who are interested and just kind of dabbling with it. So if anyone is interested.
Yeah. Or if you're just starting on your energy healing, great. It's a great resource.
Such a good book.
It doesn't have to be the newest edition. It can be any of them. Okay. Okay. Oh, the other fun part is when most of the oils I use are for emotional support. 98% of the oils that I use every day are for emotional support. I may or may not use over 50 oils topically every day. I do. But when you're using them for emotional support, it also fixes the physical stuff. Oils are great. I know, right? You can just literally, you can't go wrong with them. They're awesome. Okay, so 3 ways you can use the oils. You can use them topically, which is on your skin. Okay, you can use them aromatically, which is smelling them from the bottle, or in the diffuser. Oh, it went out. I'll turn that back on. You know, okay, in the diffuser, or you can take them internally. With emotional healing and energy healing, the internally doesn't matter as much, so don't worry about that. And only ever do internally oils that are doTERRA, that are certified, pure, tested grade. They are the only ones safe enough to consume. And please remember, the oils you take internally are things you would actually eat in real life. So we eat citrus, we eat spices, we eat herbs, we can eat some flowers. We do not eat trees.
Except frankincense.
But it's not a tree, that's sap.
It's a resin.
We eat sap. It's called maple syrup. Okay, we eat sap. We eat root things sometimes, but we don't go up and go, oh, I'm gonna chew on that bark. Like, we don't eat trees. So, you don't take arbor vitae internally because we don't eat trees. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so topically, you can use the oils to help balance your chakras, like the oils I passed along. And I think I've got the chakra balancing recipes in the handout. You can make them up as is. You can look at them and go, that doesn't feel right for me. I'm going to change this and this. It's fine. It won't hurt my feelings. You need to do what's right for you. Okay? The rest, we talked about the root chakra. It does not actually go on the root chakra. It goes adjacent to the root chakra, a little up. The rest can go on your actual chakras. For putting oils on my head with the roller ball, it's hard to roll on your hair, so I roll it on my finger and then stick it on my head. Okay? So the chakra oils. Okay, so if you're wanting to work on something like, say, body positivity, and you have some areas of your body that you struggle to like, maybe between here and here, maybe all of it, I don't know. There's a couple really good oils that you can use to help with that. One of them is grapefruit, which is the oil of honoring your body, and bergamot is the oil of self-acceptance. So if you use those on any spots that you don't maybe love, before you're doing energy work, it will help you to release those emotions, okay? So when using a hot oil topically, make sure you dilute it so that you're not getting a burn from it. And when you're using a citrus oil like grapefruit and really specifically bergamot, it's Calgary, it doesn't matter right now. But if you're somewhere warm or you're visiting somewhere warm, citrus oils are photosensitive. You can get a chemical burn from the sun for them. So if you're going to be in any kind of sun that generates any kind of warmth, so not Calgary, put them where the sun isn't going to see them, or put them on at night so that you can sleep. And you need a good 8 to 10 hours after you put them on before they should be exposed to sunlight, okay? We're going to talk about this one. Okay, did you know this is so cool, because I'm an empath, and that can be hard. So you can use oils to protect you energetically and to help you with boundaries. That's a thing you can have. You can have
boundaries. It's so cool.
I highly recommend getting boundaries. Okay, so this blend here is a blend I made up. It's called Safeguard, and it's in the handout, I think on the back of like where the oil blends are. And what this does is create energetic protection for you from other people. So when I'm going to be, I put it here, and sometimes on the back of my neck. You can put it on your third eye, you can put it up the back, like wherever, it doesn't matter. When I'm going to be in a situation that I know I'm going to feel overwhelmed in, like a large crowd, I will slather myself in this. If I'm going to be around a person that I know is triggering for me and likes to push their energy on me, I will use this. It's fantastic. Like when you put it on, and literally, I give this rollerball away at least once a month. I keep it in my purse all the time, and I'm constantly giving it to people, and then I have to go home and make a new one and put it in my purse, and then I give it away to somebody else, and I have to make a new one and put it in my purse. It always gets given away. It smells weird. So it's made with tea tree, clove, and Terra Shield, which are all really good oils for emotional shielding. I made this up before the new emotions book came out, but yarrow palm would be a really good add to it too, because it's the oil of, I think, energetic shielding, I think is what it's called. So a couple drops of yarrow palm would be a really, really good add.
Energetic.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can, if you have a child that gets overwhelmed by emotions easily, holy crow, make that for them. If they're really little, maybe make it up and then split it between 2 rollers so that it's more diluted. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, but it really helps. And you still feel the energy around you, but it doesn't come into you. So my daughter last year was in grade 12, and she's a drama girl, and she's also very dramatic, which probably is why she's in drama and musical theater and all of that. And she was going to Drama Fest at UFC, and she loves it, but she comes home emotionally wrecked from it, like just destroyed, because it's too much energy coming at her and she can't handle it. So we went through 2 years of her coming home wrecked. And then in her grade 12 year, I'm like, you're taking this and you're using it. And she's like, well, I need to be able to feel the energy so I can do the improving and all the things. And I'm like, oh my God, you are so dramatic. No, you're still going to feel it. It's just not going to become a part of your soul. Okay. And so we had her put it on, and she didn't trust me because, you know, I'm her mom. And she put it on, and I picked her up after the first day, and I'm like, and she was good. Like, she was happy and she was herself, and she wasn't crashing when I picked her up, which the years before she was emotionally crashing every time, because it's a lot of peopling and a lot of energy, and she couldn't do it. And I'm like, were you still able to do your stuff and your things? And she's like, yes, I could still totally feel the energy, but it wasn't coming into me. And I'm like, great. So yeah, it's really, really a lifesaver. Love that one. Okay, so by far my favorite way to use oils in energy healing is diffusing them. Diffusing oils is the fastest way to affect your mood and emotions. So diffusing while doing energy work really brings things out a lot quicker and a lot easier. When you inhale any essential oil, it goes straight into your olfactory bulb in your brain, and from there straight to your amygdala. So your amygdala is what controls your emotions, as well as all your automatic response things like digestion, breathing, blood flowing. You know, it's not important at all. It's totally important. Your amygdala is really, really important. Okay, so that's why diffusing oils affects your mood like that, because it goes straight to your amygdala, which is the thing that controls all your emotions and literally everything else your body does. Okay, we know that memories can be triggered by smells, right? There's lots of scientific data to back that up. So it makes sense to deliberately use smells to access specific memories and emotions that come with them, and to help take the emotional sting out of them, okay? So when I'm doing a diffuser blend for emotional work, I open my box and I pick out any oil that stands out to me and I use it. If it is an oil that I think is gross, which is the florals, they're gross. I know most of you like them, but they're so gross. right? They're so gross. I use a very little amount, like 1 drop, and then I cover it with a whole lot of other stuff. So I'm still getting the benefit from the gross oil that I don't like, but I don't have to smell it so much. So the only exception to that is I will not diffuse blue tansy ever, because the constant vomiting would really detract from what I'm doing, because it smells so bad. And literally I would vomit. So no, we will not diffuse blue tansy ever. Like, no, it's so gross, so bad. It smells like dead things covered in sugar. It's just it's so gross.
I have no idea where your daughter got her dramatic flair.
I know, right? It's from her father. It's from her father. It totally is. Okay. So when I'm diffusing for energy work, I tend to do root or wood oils. So balance, vetiver, frankincense, cypress, any of the woods or roots, okay? The reason is it keeps you grounded, it keeps you pulled down to the earth, it keeps you focused in reality, okay? So I diffuse a wood of some kind. At the same time, if all you're diffusing is woods, you're getting really down and really low, and you start circling, and it can take you into a really bad place, okay? So you need to balance that with an oil that brings you to the light, that brings you up, which are florals, unfortunately, and citrus. I tend to focus more on citrus, but if you don't like citrus, use florals. I understand other people like them. So that brings you up. If you're only diffusing up oils, like citrus and florals, when you're doing energy work, you're going to float, and you're going to be not grounded in reality, and things can get weird in your head real fast. So you need to diffuse both. You need a grounding, rooting oil, and you need a floral or a citrus to lift you up. It's really important that you have that push-pull, the yin-yang, like it really helps, okay? Herbs and spices basically fill in the gaps, and they give more depth to the blend, okay? So these are some of my favorites that I love to use when I'm doing energy healing. So first one we're going to talk about is black pepper, and I love this oil. Like, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorites to diffuse. If you haven't diffused it, oh, you should. It's gorgeous. It brings like this incredible depth to the diffuser blend. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so the reason I diffuse black pepper is that emotionally it's the oil of unmasking. So I'm going to talk about some specific oils. All of this stuff is found in the emotions book, okay? So black pepper invites you to get real by digging deep within the less understood parts of yourself. Whether your true motives and feelings are acknowledged or not, they continue to exist. It reignites the soul fire, fueling motivation and hastening the healing process. It's a really good one to use, okay? Clary sage, it's not a favorite smell of mine, but it's a really good oil to use during energy work. It's the oil of clarity and vision. It helps you change your perceptions and gives you the courage to see the truth. It dispels darkness and illusion, helping you to see your limiting belief systems. It opens your soul to new possibilities and experiences. So a limiting belief system is, I can't do that. That's a limiting belief system. Or I'll never. That's a limiting belief system, okay? So it helps you to let go of those, right? Like, I'll never lose weight. I'll never find a boyfriend. I'll never whatever, right? Those are limiting beliefs. So clary sage is really good at helping you to move past those. Okay, one of my all-time favorites that usually ends up in the diffuser during emotional therapy is cypress. Not only does it smell really good, if you're not into woods, it's a lot lighter of a wood smell than like arbor vitae. So people that don't like woods can sometimes be okay with cypress. Cypress is the oil of motion and flow. Stagnant energies are brought into motion through the fluid energy of this oil. It works in the heart and mind, creating flexibility. It teaches the soul how to let go of the past by moving with the flow of life. So it's really good to help you let go of things and to start moving energy that has maybe sat for a year or 20. Okay, so another one that I really don't like the smell of is geranium. It's another one that's really, really good to use in emotional healing. So when I diffuse this, it's like 1 drop of geranium and a whole bunch of other things to cover up the geranium, and I still only smell the geranium. Geranium is the oil of love and trust. It encourages emotional honesty, love, and forgiveness. It aids in healing a broken heart. It encourages emotional honesty by facilitating the emergence of grief or pain that has been suppressed. So I know you're all super mature and don't ever suppress any grief or pain, so you probably don't need this one. But it's one that I tend to need a lot. You can also, I think geranium, is it a hot oil? I use it neat, so I use a lot of, okay, it's a mild oil, great. You can also just put it on your heart or on your heart chakra, and it's really good at
It's really
helping
good.
to clear things out.
It's really good, especially if you know anybody, especially who's sad that children have been abused.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good one. I have a friend who had, I won't go into it, but her daughters were abused, and she was diffusing it. They were having night terrors, and their night terrors went away.
Yeah.
Like, just, it was
Yeah,
it just really massively helped in their healing, like, big time.
Yep. Another one that is incredible that I really don't like the smell of is helichrysum. So this one is insanely powerful. Like, it's super, super powerful. Like, literally just a drop or even half a drop goes so far with this oil. It's really, really powerful. Helichrysum is the oil for pain. It's really, really powerful emotionally. It is an amazing healer of heart pain. It aids the walking wounded, those with a history of difficult life circumstances, trauma, self-destruction, loss, or abuse. It gives strength and endurance to the wounded soul that must keep on living despite past difficulties. It's really, really powerful. Okay? If you lose somebody and it's sudden, that would be a good one to just drop on your heart for a few days. It will help you to move through a lot of the first stages, okay, of grief and pain. Lavender is one that's slowly growing on me that I don't find quite as gross as I used to. So that is growth, people. It's growth. Okay, lavender. I know Kelly likes to use this one when she wants to talk to her teenage son, because it's really easy to get your teenage son to talk to you all the time, said every mom. Never. So this one, Kelly will tell you it's her favorite trick. She puts it in the diffuser, or she puts it on his back if he'll let her give him a massage. And within a few minutes, he just starts the blabbing and the talking, and she's like, yay! Okay, so the reason is lavender is the oil of communication and calm. It aids verbal expression and calms the mind, which is why it helps you to sleep. It calms the mind. It addresses a deep fear of being seen and heard. It encourages emotional honesty and insists that you speak your innermost thoughts and desires, which is why it gets a teenage boy talking. Okay? If you have to talk to, say, your significant other, who is also like, let's talk, that would be a good one to diffuse as well, right? Okay, lemongrass is another really powerful one emotionally. This is the oil of cleansing. It's a powerful cleanser of energy. It dispels feelings of despondency, despair, and lethargy. It helps you enter a healing mode or cleansing state. In this state, you can easily let go of old limiting beliefs, toxic energies, and negativity. Okay, so lemongrass is another really good one. This one's my favorite. This one's lime, and it smells like green dinosaurs. It totally does. Go get a bag of dinosaurs. Smell it, you'll see. Okay, so lime is the oil for zest of life. It cleanses the heart, especially when there has been an accumulation of emotional toxins due to avoidance or repression. Again, I don't know anybody that would do that. That's super immature. But theoretically speaking, I might have once or twice. Okay, it revitalizes the heart space, giving room for light and joy. So actually, I use this one every day. I put like 2 drops in my hands, rub them together, and cup and inhale every single morning. And take 5 or 6 deep breaths, and then I take what's left of the oil and rub it on my heart space every day. without fail. I also don't go out in the sun, and there is none in Calgary anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, head green. This was one of our BOGOs last week. I hope you all got it. This one is awesome. Smells kind of weird. Some people say it smells like pickles. Some people say it smells like chopped jalapenos. I don't know. I think it smells like wood and citrus, but whatever. Petitgrain is the oil of ancestry. Why do you think that would be important in energetic healing? Okay. It is a great aid in healing a complicated family history. It invites you to accept the humanness of your ancestors and seek to learn from their mistakes. It reveals patterns and tendencies of unconsciously repeating family mistakes and invites healthy awareness and balance. So it helps you to see what has been passed down to you habitually through your family that is maybe not healthy, and maybe you don't want that passed down to your children. And it helps you to let go of those things while seeing the good with what you've been raised with too. Okay, pink pepper. So this one came out first in the Mother's Day Harmony Trio this past Mother's Day. And the moment I smelled it, I was loopy for hours afterwards. And I knew that it was probably one of the most precious oils doTERRA's ever had. And the things it does physically are incredible. But holy heck, what this oil does emotionally is stunning. Pink pepper is the oil of intrinsic equality. It exposes our tendency to compare ourselves to others. It teaches that judgment and comparison are maladies of the heart. The only antidote is self-love and compassion. It catalyzes stagnant heart space energies and moves you towards belief in the goodness of yourself and ultimately in others. This oil is incredible when you diffuse it. Like, it's life-changing. Seriously, I cannot say enough good things about pink pepper. It is such a powerhouse emotionally. Okay, thyme. Does not smell great. It's very strong herb. But it's another one that I use just about every single time I do energetic healing. It is the oil of releasing and forgiving. It's one of the most powerful cleansers of the emotional body and helps in addressing trapped feelings which have been buried for a long time. It reaches deep into your body and soul, searching for unresolved negativity. It brings to the surface old stagnant feelings. It is particularly helpful in treating hate, rage, anger, and resentment, which cause the heart to close. It teaches you to forgive, and as you do, you free yourself from emotional bondage. Thyme, really important. Okay. Next one is ylang ylang. Not a favorite of mine. Okay, but again, it's incredibly important in energetic healing. Ylang ylang is the oil of the inner child. It is a powerful remedy for releasing emotional trauma from the past. It is a fantastic support in emotional healing. It helps you to release bottled up emotions such as anger and sadness. This oil allows emotional healing to flow naturally, nurturing the heart through the process. So again, if you've had experiences where you felt very hurt for an extended period of time, ylang ylang, it's miraculous what it can accomplish. Okay, next one up is Breathe or Easy Air. And Amy taught me to use this one emotionally. This is one of Amy's favorites for her emotional support. So Easy Air or Breathe is the oil of breath. It addresses the inability to let go of grief and pain. Sometimes we feel we have to hold on to that we deserve that, to feel that grief and that pain. So the root of this is feeling unloved. You grieve the love you never received. It encourages you to let go of grief and sadness and to receive genuine love and healing. Okay? And incidentally, in tapping in traditional Chinese medicine, this opens the airways in your lungs. Your lungs are where you store unresolved sadness. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Yeah. Okay, so the last one we're going to talk about is Purify. I love the smell of this one. I love it for cleaning. And this one goes on my heart chakra every morning. Purify is the oil of purification. It helps you to release toxic emotions and enter a cleansing state. It revitalizes the energy system, washing away negative influences. It is especially helpful in combating toxic feelings of hate, rage, enmeshment, and in severing other negative attachments. So if you have a parasitic relationship with somebody where you're constantly giving and they're just taking from you, you can call them energy vampires, you can, whatever you want to call them, this can help you with that. Okay, so these are some of the oils that I generally am drawn to when doing emotional healing. All the oils work for emotional healing, all of them. So whatever you're feeling drawn to, use it, because it will help you. You have something in you that needs to be addressed by that oil. Use it. If there's an oil that you smell and you go, oh, that's disgusting, blue tansy. Seriously, it's so bad, guys. It's so bad. I know some of you like it. I don't understand that at all. I think you're really, really crazy. But if there's an oil that you smell it and you go, oh, no, chances are, if you read the emotions book, you need that one for emotional reasons.
So you diffuse those tens.
Oh, never. Seriously, I would vomit. No, it's so gross. I smell it like about every 6 months just to see if it still is disgusting, and it is every single time. It's so gross.
But didn't you say you need it then?
Yeah, I do. I use it daily. I have like a couple blends I use it in, and I have like 1 drop in one of them and 3 drops in another in a 10 milliliter roller, and I can barely handle the smell of the 3 drops. Like it's
Imbalance.
I know, but I figure there's like 3 drops in a giant vat.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't smell that. And it's in deep blue, but again, the wintergreen overpowers that, so you never smell. I never smell it in deep blue. Okay, so that's it. Does anybody have any questions that we haven't covered? Are you all completely overwhelmed?
You did not have the recipe for your safeguard roller blend on here.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, it is. There's a page over.
Oh, it is.
Flip the page over.
Let's just see if we have
Yeah.
any Q&A over here. Hi, guys.
Online.
Yeah, Amy's got them.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll post them online. Yeah, no problem, Pamela. Yep, we'll post those online for you. Anybody else have any questions?
I know, it's a lot. I know.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's so good. Thank you so much, Jen. It's really awesome. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
You do this professionally, right?
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
So to get a Reiki session for me, you're looking at first Reiki session is usually between 2 to 3 hours long, because there's generally a lot of damage that I have to fix. Generally, I have to find your chakras where you've hidden them, and you have to undo a lot. So what a session looks like with me is I start by having you pick oils for the diffuser. I may or may not add some oils to it. I have you pick crystals. I brought a few of my crystals here because I incorporate them as well. So you pick at least 7 crystals, and then I add whatever I feel like to that. And that's an amethyst. It's in this one.
It's my birthstone.
And then we do the clearing, each of us, and I state my intention for the Reiki session, which is always to balance and align your chakras and fix them, and to help you release any emotional debris or trauma that you're willing to address at this point in time and that you're ready to address at this point in time. And then you have to figure out a statement, like an intention for the session. You do not have to tell it to me. It doesn't matter if I hear it or not, but you let me know when you have it. And then I start the Reiki, and I'm silent a lot of the time, and then sometimes I'll talk and I'll say, okay, I see this, and this is causing a blockage. What is this? And then we'll talk some, and I just slowly go through and fix things. So, yeah, it's awesome. Know that.
Yeah. Any other questions, you guys?
Will you dry brush me at the end?
I was waiting for the oil in the cup.
Dry brush.
Touch me with oils.
True, she is.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, you guys, online. We will post these shortly, and we'll post the recording too. So
you can share this with your friends. All right. Thanks, guys. And oh, wait, one more thing. I was going to say, so next week already is our next class. So it'll be next Wednesday, March 6th. I think next Wednesday is the 6th. And it's going to be essential oils. It's going to be cooking with essential oils. Yeah.
Is Marie teaching that again?
No, we have Kati and Alex.
Cool.
Yeah, they're local here to Calgary, and they've been doing lots of really great recipes and stuff. So I'm excited about it. Yeah, it'll be here. Yeah, 7 o'clock regular time, and we'll have it available online too. So, all right, thanks, you guys. Bye.